first one here says to reflect over the line y equals minus x, and that's this line right here. And there's a couple of ways to do it. Did you get any formulas in class? Did your instructor kind of say, here's how they want you to do it? Or am I kind of free to give you I don't know, the general answer here?
Let's see. Just grab a paper. I kind of,
because it's just a rule, but I mean I don't want to just tell you if that's, I mean I think that is what your instructor wants here, but it's pretty straightforward. You switch the x and the y and then you negate them.
Oh, okay.
And so really it's no different than what we've been doing. You label the points here, KJL. You just label them -3, 5. Is that 5? Yeah. J is -3, 4. L is -5, 4. And then, like I said, you just switch the x's and the y's, but then you negate them. So you change the sign on both like that. So what I would do first is, I assume you're seeing my screen here. Let me just make sure you are. Yeah. You would switch positions and then change the sign of both of them. So it's just like another thing to remember, which I think can be kind of overwhelming. It's like, yep, something else here, but that's it.
Okay, I think, yeah, that's the one I messed up on because I ended up putting negatives for the y's.
Yeah, so I'm writing it in words here. Sometimes it's more meaningful in words. You switch the x and y and then negate. It's not really intuitive because this is the line. I was starting to draw the line there to see maybe if there's an intuitive way to do it, but there really isn't. It is just the just that. So it may be odd where the point ends up. We'll see here some -4, 3, and then -4, +5. Wait, that's not right. -5, 3. Oh, I got this one in the wrong spot. That's why. Okay. So let me do it in a different color here. Use red. Red's always good. -4. So it's actually, sorry. So I finally got, it's those 3 points there. Again, maybe that doesn't look intuitive, but that is the correct reflection.
Okay.
So we should do number 3 next because it's just like it. And hopefully pretty straightforward here. Okay, snip that in.
Let me see.
So this is number 3. Same rule, x, y goes to, you switch their positions and then you negate them. So we just need to label those points, D, E, and F. I know last time you kind of went vertical. I tend to go horizontal with these. -5, -2, -3, 0, -3, -4. So you switch them, -2, -5, and then you change the sign of both. Switch the order, change the sign. 0 doesn't change signs, but -3 does. -4, -3, and then change the signs of both. So this one probably a little more intuitive because you can actually see, all right, if it's going over this line, you can kind of get an idea of where it'll end up, and end up in the top right now. Whereas the last one was so close to it, maybe it wasn't clear where it would end up. So 2, 5, there's that point, 0, 3, and then 4, 3. Maybe there's so one of the points that you might be able to just visualize, like, is this E. See how E kind of, you can see that it's a mirror over that.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll help here.
Okay.
All right, let me look and see if there's any more of these.
For the y equals -x.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm still kind of confused about.
Yeah, let me see if there's any more of these like that. Did you send, looks like you might have sent the same picture. No, that's me being silly. Okay, yeah, that's the only one of those that I see.
Okay.
I don't see any more of those. So what you have to remember is the rule here for y equals minus x. It's kind of a Quizlet thing. You're like, all right, we've done rules for other rotations. This is yet another rule that you have to remember. I can summarize them all at the end if needed.
Okay.
So let's go back to number 2. Yeah, grab a snip of that. Okay, so this one says a reflection across the y-axis. That's here. Again, there's always rules for these, the x, y. So some of them are more intuitive than the others. So if it flips over the y-axis, this vertical one here, like x is going to go over to this point here, and that's kind of a helpful way to figure it out. It's like, oh, the y value stays the same, but the x value is negated because it was -2, 1. And it's still at 1, but now it's at the 2, 1. So that's why some of them you don't need to necessarily memorize. You just need to be able to do them on the fly. Of course,
Yeah.
if you don't want to do that, you can memorize them all. It's that's up to you.
Yeah. For these ones, I've
Yes.
been from X and I do to from the Y line. I count 2 and then I count 2 on the other side.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and you don't even need to make a you don't even need to make a table.
Yeah.
Okay, let me grab number 4. So I think it's helpful to actually graph the line that you're reflecting over, especially if it's not the axis. So x equals a number is always a vertical line.
Mhm.
And then you do just like you told me, you just count. Like w is 2 away from it, so you go over here to the w prime. V is right on it. U down here at the bottom is 2 away from it. And then x is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you just count like you did in the previous problem. These are the easiest ones, and I don't try to use that word very often, but these are the ones you want because they're very straightforward.
Okay.
All right, go to 5 now. Did you get this down, or do you need me to wait a little longer?
I got it.
Okay. Okay, probably a good idea to graph the original and not try to just reflect it as you go. It takes a little longer, but you're more confident that you've done it correctly. That's F, that's G, and then that's H. F, G, and H. And then the line x equals -3. Just graph that, that's here. Just kind of tuck this one in the corner here. So G is going to stay in the same place, but F is going to move over 2 units to the right. H goes to the other side. And then you connect there. Like that.
Oh my goodness.
Gets a little messy, lots of overlapping lines.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Any questions on that?
No.
Okay. So graph the points, graph the thing that you're reflecting it over. So here's another one for us to look at. So just always good to graph the ordered pairs. So T is at 0, 1, S is at 4, 4, R is at 4, 0. Connect them. I don't know. Do you have to use a ruler in the class?
No.
Okay. So freehand's okay. And then Y equals 2. Y equals 2, that's a horizontal line. And then you just count. Like T is 1 below it, so you go 1 above it. S is 2 above it, so it goes down below it. R is 2 below it, so it goes above it. And they can overlap. I think it's maybe hardest if you have to actually label them. Now, if you're wondering, do you do any art? Are you an art person?
I have an art class.
Okay. So there's a lot of symmetries in life, things that flip and reflect. So you see some of that in designs. Things like cars are very symmetrical, one side of the other, flipping, things like that. So I mean, there is value in it. I won't say that us doing these problems are valuable, but there is kind of this, usefulness when you're designing things.
Yeah, I think today we were doing drawing a picture on like a graph thing, a 1-inch graph or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah.
So the more you kind of see how this might apply to the real world, maybe the more valuable it is seeing it in a classroom.
Yeah.
Movie stars are known to have sort of symmetrical faces, if you care about that kind of stuff. Whatever. Okay, so another problem here. We're going to graph U, V, and W. That's U, negative 4, 4, negative 4, 0. So U, V, and W. Getting some sort of triangle. Reflected over X equals -2. So whenever that reflection line goes through the original, that's when you know you're going to have kind of an overlap situation. It's so you just count each direction. Hardest thing is probably just to draw the line in the right place.
Yeah.
And make sure you don't misremember that. So X equals -2. The way I used to remember this is that it actually reads as X is always -2. And that helps me to realize like every point along this vertical line, the X coordinate is -2. You could also just throw that on a note card if you get that. And we got one more of these before we go the other direction where we have to figure out the transformation. So L is 0, 1, 2, 5 for K, 4, 3 for J. So the y-axis, that's up and down. So we've done a bunch of these. That L is actually going to stay right on it. J, you got to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 away, 1, 2, 3, 4 away. K is 2 away. This one actually has a nice kind of look to it. You're like, okay, there's the symmetry. Any questions on that before we go to the next one where you have to actually determine the rule?
No, hold on. I'm not done though.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Got that down?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. Okay, so number 9, it says in the instructions to write a rule to describe each transformation. Before you write the rule, though, it's sometimes a good idea to try to figure out like what does it look like it's reflected over? And you tell me, does it look like it's reflected over that line right there?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of a multiple choice thing. Like there's not an infinite number of options of what it could be. This is the line y equals x. It's like, well, here's what it could be. It could be y equals x, y equals minus x, the x-axis, the y-axis, x equals a number, meaning another vertical line, or y equals a number, meaning a horizontal line. Like these are our options here. There's not going to be a problem where it's not one of these. Okay. So you just got to remember that y equals x goes up and to the right. Y equals minus x goes down and to the right. The x-axis is horizontal. Y-axis is vertical, vertical, horizontal. So that's your rule. Although I don't know if that's enough. I mean, that's the line that it's reflected across. We'd have to actually go find the rule for the points. Do you think that's what the instructor wants? Like, how does x, y go to its new position?
Honestly, I'm not really sure. These ones were the ones that I like struggled with.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to give you this rule anyway, so I might as well just tell you now what it is, and then you've got it. So all you do is you switch x and y.
Okay.
That's for this one. I'll summarize those at the end. Make sure before we run out of time, if we do, I'll make sure to get those in because those are the most important, are the rules.
Okay.
All right. So let's go to number 10. Number 10. This is like, in my opinion, this isn't really like your typical math. This is more of like pattern recognition. So if this isn't something you're good at, I mean, it doesn't mean you're not a good math student. It's a different area of math.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you kind of agree that it's reflected over the line that I've drawn there?
Yes.
So you tend to try to start with and all this is y equals minus x. I'm literally just going down our list. Y equals x, y equals minus x, x-axis, y-axis, and I'll do that in the next couple of problems here. Try to talk you through it. But sometimes you can just see it's like the left side matches the right side. You know, this is there's symmetry there. So in terms of the rule, we talked about this one earlier. You flip x and y, and then you negate them.
Okay.
Is it okay if we go to 11 now?
Yeah.
All right. So take a look at this one. I'll draw the two possibilities here. There's y equals minus x, which we just did. Minus x. And then there's the other direction, y equals x. Do either of these look like they are correct?
No. Oh, well, let me check that one.
So to me, this second one is there's symmetry. Sorry. I don't know why I did that. Let's move back. There it is. Okay. The second one, like what I'm looking at is, and I guess I can't visually show you, but this, you're flipping this thing down here over, rolling it over.
Okay.
The other thing to kind of look for is they're equidistant. Like these are the same distances. These are the same distances. These are the same distances.
Okay, I got mixed up with the Y's.
What I don't recommend is trying to like write the coordinates and figure out which rule it is.
Yeah.
But some students would love that. I mean, if you're a computer, you'd love that, but we're not
That,
computers.
that's what I did.
Okay.
And
I mean,
yeah,
if you want us to do it that way, we can. I discourage it because it's a lot of like, was it X, Y, flip, flip, flip. But
a lot of work.
yeah. So the rule for this one is that you just flip X and Y. Oops, that's not right. You just switch them, sorry. Any questions on that?
No.
Okay, so the next couple of questions here, you have to make the graph.
I have graph paper.
Yeah, I'll what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab like number 7 and see if we'll just throw them on the graph on there. The graph is just to help you, like if since they're already in this form, you could use the rules to do it. Let me show you that first. Like B goes from -3 to, well, that's weird, -3, 5. That's got to be a mistake. Okay, I'm going to suggest we graph these. So let me do that. All right, so let me graph these points here. B -3, -3. C is 0, 1. D is 2, -2. C prime is right there where C is. D prime is 2, 4. And B prime is -3, 5. Okay. So again, this is one of those ones where I probably just have to tell you what it is so you can see it. It's hard to sort of explain.
Is it the oh.
Yeah. And you got to be careful because if you moved it down, excuse me, you would see that it doesn't quite work with the D and the B. The other kind of giveaway is that whenever a point stays the same, that means the axis is right on it.
Okay. So it'll be y equals a number.
Yeah, in this case, it's y equals 1.
Okay.
The rule is harder to write this time. So I don't think you're supposed to write a rule for this, because it would be very awkward with how you explain it. So let's hold off on writing a rule for this one. Any questions on this?
No.
Okay. Did you get it all down, or do you need another minute or two?
I got it down.
Okay. So here's the next one. I'm gonna grab another graph. One of the advantages here of this virtual is I can just copy and paste. I don't even need graph paper right here. All right, so if I just scan the points, I do see that I and I prime are exactly the same.
Yeah.
And that's a good indicator that there's going to be something about them that's the same. They really should be listed in order. They're just doing that to be confusing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I is -5, 3, -5, 5 for J. K is -3, 5, and L is -1, 1. Something like that. if you don't have colored pencils or something, maybe just try to be I don't know, lighter or darker on one of the ones, just so you can see them.
Mhm.
Minus 5, 1, minus 3, 1, minus 1, 5, minus 5, 3. Okay. Oops, that's not even close to correct. Okay, there it is. All right. Excuse me. So this one's tough. This one's really tough. I don't want to give it away, but it is either a horizontal or a vertical line.
Y equals a number.
It is y equals, yep. What number is it?
5, 3.
3. Yeah, there you go. Good. I think those are the toughest ones.
Oh, I never even got 12.
All right, let me go back to 12. Oh, I didn't snip it in. That was bad.
It is y equals x.
That is correct. All right, so we're on to 15. So just label these points again. E is 1, 2. F is 5, 5. G is 5, 3. So some sort of a triangle there. And then F is minus 5, 5. I'm sorry, that's in the wrong spot. Minus 5, minus 5, minus 3, minus 5, minus 2, minus 1. Did I not graph this other one right? I messed up this other one. And there it is. Okay. Whenever you see it kind of in another quadrant diagonally, that's a good indication that it's y equals x or y equals minus x.
Yeah.
So in this case, maybe you can see that it is this line here that is reflected over.
So it's y equals negative x.
Yes. All right. So the next couple, oh, I'm sorry, there's one more of these. Sorry. You know, if you got something like this on the test, I would ask for graph paper, or if not, you know, go to the back of a piece of paper and see if you can diagram it. I wouldn't try to do it without graphing it. Just too many possibilities. If you remember, like a long time ago, they're like, draw a picture. And this is the you know, perfect example of why you need to draw a picture. Seeing it just really opens up what you think it should be.
Mm-hmm.
So minus 1, 4, minus 4, 1, minus 1, 2. Okay. All right. So this one, I'm going to draw. This is not the correct answer, but I want to explain why this is not the correct answer. If this was correct, then one of these shapes would be in the other quadrant down here. So it's definitely not like that. The question is it going the other way?
I don't think so. I don't know. I kind of thought it was just the y axis. Oh wait.
So I agree. It's not this one either. So let me go and do
Oh,
that. So now
no,
is it a horizontal? I'm sorry, is it a vertical or is it
x
a? Yeah, it looks like it's a vertical. X equals -2. But if you remember that list I wrote earlier, you just kind of go down that list. It's like, all right, is it y equals x, y equals -x? Is it
Yeah, I
x-axis,
wrote it.
y-axis? Yeah. Sorry for interrupting you.
Okay. Yeah. The thing does really help with the lines and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you get to college, if you do go, I mean, students are way more active with their note taking, different colored pencils, and it's really a big deal to kind of get the notes situated where you can reproduce. This is a great example of that. Sometimes they discourage it in high school. They say you can only use a pencil or no pens, but
Yeah.
it's really a personal preference here. All right, so we're up back to 17, back to where we actually have the graph already done for us. These are the best. You just draw that line, y equals 1, and then you just count how many spaces away each one is. You just we like these are great. I mean, these are the ones you want, lots of these in your test.
Okay.
Let's do 19 next. We'll come back to 18. This should go pretty quick. 19 and 20. So that y-axis right there again. Whenever a point is on it, it just stays there. You count g is 2 away, so g prime goes over there. I prime moves over. F prime. Like that. All right, number 20. X equals -1. That line right there. And then you really just ignore the axis. The axes just count, like we've been doing, how many away from each one is each point. The order doesn't really matter either. You got to do them all. There is such a thing as stress-free math. This may be it.
Yes.
Let me know when you're ready to move on to 18.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Okay, so I was holding off on this one because it's y equals x. It's not all that easy to do by hand. You might be able to see that g comes over here to this point, over here, g prime, but the others are a little harder to figure out. So your rule, sorry, I did the rule in red. With this one is that you switch X and Y. Excuse me. So that you do have to write the ordered pairs. We'll start with G, GH, and I. -1, 1 goes to 1, -1. H is -1, 4 goes to 4, -1. And then last one there, I, -5, 1 goes to 1, -5. And then sometimes after you do it, you're like, I should have been able to see that. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as you get it down right. Let me know when you're ready for us to move on to the next group of questions.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm gonna go to 24 next because it's just like this last one we did. Let me go grab a this is the one I was using. All right, so we'll graph the original here, -4, 4, -3, 5, -2, 0, something like that. And then it's reflected over y equals x. Really helps if you have that rule, xy goes to yx. So each of these ordered pairs, they just flip. And then w, 5 to -3. These are primes, goes to 0, -2. 4, -4, and then 0, -2. You probably have to label all these. I've been terrible at that. Just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go back to 21. I hope this gets you out of having to do homework later today. This is a lot to do in a lesson.
This kind of was my homework.
Good. I hope this is everything because this is a lot.
Oh yeah.
All right, -4, -3, -4, -1, -1, +1, 1, -2. Just make sure I graphed all that correctly. Yeah, it looks good. D, C, B, A. Something like that. And we're reflecting over x equals -1. So B stays the same. A prime moves in there. C moves there. And then D moves 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Something like that. I'm going to do 23 next, just because it's more like 21. very repetitive. This is very much the same thing. G, H2, 3, 5, -1. Okay. Okay, and then X equals 3. Boy, why do they choose to always? They always like to reflect over itself. 1, 2, 1, 2. If there's ever like a question of like the order in which to connect the dots, it's the same order as they're given in F, G, H, I, F prime, G prime, H prime, I prime. Just trying to think of anything else that, you know, you might need to know to do these.
Okay.
All right, last one here. All right, so we got J -4 -5. It's J I -3. Sorry, that's in the wrong. It's completely wrong. Okay, J -4 -5, I -3 -1, H -1 -1, G -2 -5, J I H G. Y equals -2. H I J G.
Okay. Okay, I'm done.
Hey, so just real quick, let me just summarize the rules that we did today, in case you want to get those down. I found a reference sheet, but it doesn't have all of them. So the one that it's missing, actually no, this is no. So over the line, I guess we need to add this one over the line. Y equals -x, x, y goes to -y minus x. But these are the summary. Also, just throw this in the chat. This is a pretty good one. There's never like a perfect reference sheet unless it's from your teacher for your class, but that's one that might be worth looking at. Is there anything else you'd like us to look at today?
Can we go over number 1 again? Because I've not finished that one.
Okay, let me just go back up to it. Excuse me. Let you get that down. I apologize. You always tell me to stop if I ever go to where.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah. The paper that I needed help with.
All right. So we definitely will not meet next Wednesday, but I'm gonna let your mom know if she needs to, if you guys want to schedule something, before your final, I will be available, but we're definitely not going to be doing anything next Wednesday since your class will be over. So if I don't see you, hope you have a great holiday and break, and I'll be available next year to help you again. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.
You too.